Hello, and welcome to Complete Inbox Let's Play StarCraft Brood War Part something.
I think this one sucks.
This one sucks? All the better. Right?
So we're I guess this is kind of like where they start playing with like there's different objectives or like there's different actual things, like less straightforward stuff going on. So we're supposed to steal some battle cruisers, and we do that by we're given like a certain set of units that we have to use to complete an objective, where we have to use like those specific unit special abilities in order to complete it. It's basically just testing your proficiency, it's kind of like a puzzle in a sense, as well as execution. Which is kind of cool, but also I get bored because I just like playing straight StarCraft.
Who's the waifu on the raid?
Adjutant, that character that has been corresponding with us since the beginning of the first mission.
I bet it's just that I can't recognize her because the new revamped graphics suck. Or actually,
Hey man, change the
are too good.
Change the graphics over.
I will. I want to leave it on for the briefing just so everyone gets the HD. Because everyone looks truly horrible in original graphics.
That's true.
Everyone just looks awful. By the way, Warcraft 3 Reforged just got announced. And it looks like they're putting a lot more effort into that than StarCraft Remastered.
Blizzard's been killing it recently, man. Did that new World of Warcraft thing come out? It's like
Battle for Azeroth?
Nah, it's like this like classic, yeah.
I honestly do not follow World of Warcraft at all, so I could not.
You know, a surprising amount of people play that game.
It feels like...
Imagine saying that like 10 years ago.
Right.
Oh my god, the game is 14 years old.
Alright, that's it. I'm leaving. I can't handle this.
Blizzard makes way too few games, to
But
be honest.
they keep them going forever.
That's true.
So that's always good. Like, do people still play Overwatch a lot, or is that like kind of dying down?
It's definitely still popular, but it's definitely not as popular as it once was. Especially with like Fortnite and stuff dominating.
Hey, any game that lets you dab is the game for me.
And like the same thing with World of Warcraft, like it's still the most popular MMO, but like MMOs as a genre are stagnating like hard.
Yeah,
I mean Hearthstone is probably still super popular,
it is.
but I don't care about
Now
card
actually
games.
has some competition.
Is that Valve card game like actually like out and competitive?
I really don't know. I don't know anything about it.
What's it called? Artifact?
Yeah.
I like heard like nothing but people being there because Valve doesn't make games.
Yeah, they really don't.
What's the last game they made before that? Left 4 Dead 2? Yeah,
It's
Dota,
like,
I guess.
I guess Dota. I mean, the last real game they made was Portal 2.
Wow.
Like 2011.
Wow.
And then they were like, hey,
I mean, look at it this way.
you just...
How much money do they make off of Steam, right? Like, they never have to make a game again.
Yeah, but I feel as if they should have some exclusive games to Steam to get people to, like, continue using and expand their service, like, user base. I don't know. Like, Half-Life 2, wasn't Half-Life 2, like, a launching game for Steam? Like, Steam launched with Half-Life 2.
Oh my god, I remember.
Like, that is an amazing launch title to, like, kick off your service, but now it's like, what is there? Nothing.
So, what's the next closest online service to Steam? Like, what's number 2?
Probably Barkley, but even then, that's not like the same thing.
Is it even close, then? Like, is it even within that? No.
No.
It's definitely, like, pretty much a monopoly.
Yeah.
That's correct. Is Good Old Games not... Is it by a company, or is it just
That's
like...
CD Projekt.
CD Projekt?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So obviously Witcher and stuff is only on GOG.
No, it's on Steam.
Really? Wow.
Well, I guess...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're not... No big... Witch, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's true. And doesn't EA have one?
EA has...
Yeah.
And then Ubisoft has Uplay,
Oh my god.
and people like that thing.
I'm sure
Yeah, but
they
you still
do.
buy the stuff on Steam and it just launches like through a separate like
It's just
Uplay
more
app,
DRM.
which is oh my god, it's
So
so annoying.
if I buy Assassin's Creed on Steam, I still have to have Uplay.
Okay, that was my experience. I wanted to test out like a controller I bought, and like basically I had bought it through Steam, and then when I tried to launch Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, it asked me for my Uplay credentials. So I was like, oh, okay.
I remember a time when Ubisoft like tried to remove your games from Steam and be like, "Hey, Uplay exists," and then they backtracked on that really hard. But EA still makes a lot of their games Origin exclusive.
And then I found out that
EA's a little bit bigger though, so
yeah, it's still not good.
yeah.
Like,
It is nice to not have
Okay,
a monopoly, so it's
Yeah,
the
I
thing
definitely
is,
like
the
competition.
just sucks. Like it's just bad. They're not doing it good. They're doing a bad job, and
so if
yeah.
Valve could even like once a year have like a good game that's only on Steam, like it would just like explode it even more. Like it already is winning because everyone else sucks. But if they could be like, hey, Left 4 Dead 3, like in 2020 or whatever, people would be like, oh crap.
That would not. I don't think you can pass with Left 4 Dead 3.
I still don't understand why Valve developed Source 2 when literally the only game that uses it is Dota 2. Like, it seems like such a waste of resources. Why don't they make games with it?
I mean, Left 4 Dead's cool. I think it's pretty neat.
I mean, Left 4 Dead's cool, but Left 4 Dead 2 came out in 2008. It's 10 years old. Where's the new game?
But okay.
What's Gabe doing nowadays?
Yeah. So
He's a billionaire, rich guy.
I haven't heard about him.
Where do you think he gets his fast food?
He sharpens knives and posts videos about it. And then just everything else, he's just a rich guy.
Is he still rocking that salt and pepper beard? Good. I'm all for it. Sharpening knives. Hey, kid. Well, yeah, they're not gonna have any games. What? What was that?
You didn't see the first one?
No. So you said it.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some tanks there too as well. So.
I like how everyone's blowing you up. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So the thing here is, just like I said, okay. Okay, the unit AI just like acts in just completely incomprehensible way. I don't understand why they do the things they do sometimes. Like that Marine, like he was moving forward for some reason. Like he was triggered by something, but I don't know what. Like, and then we're gonna see some more. Yep. Most of it's in the fog course, unfortunately, so you don't get to see destruction.
Wow.
Nukes do like pretty fair amount of damage though. Kill most units in one hit and take out a chunk of hit points from buildings, but bunkers stay alive, but like they burn down. They're at super low HP. I think I'm good here. I apparently am. The left is close, so I don't have to worry about him.
Give me something to shoot.
So to stay topical in a game that's 20 years old, did you bros see that Undertale 2 came out?
Oh
It
jeez.
is a separate that's a demo.
I know it's a demo. It's called Delta Moon.
Yeah.
It's the first episode. I actually just finished it. It's cool, I guess, but it's woefully incomplete.
Isn't Undertale a good game that the fan base is very bad?
That's what I would say.
I was wondering if
Somehow Ferris found out about it and he watches videos on it, and the boss battle seemed pretty cool. It's like a mini game the whole time, right? It's like you move the little cursor around.
Yeah, it's
I'm
that's
thinking
the
of the right
whole
game.
It's like a combination between like an RPG and a bullet hell game.
Yeah, I think I mean I saw like some of the final bosses and it gets really hard. Like that's crazy. That little like there's just so much bullet hell stuff going on. But I don't know anything about the story or anything like that.
I mean it's really great in that game. So.
It's cool, I guess. The fan base is the worst, though.
Is Homestuck still a comic?
No.
Did they stop that?
like finished like
Oh.
2 or 3 years ago.
30 years ago.
30. 30 years ago. Homestuck. To stay topical, today, which is November 2nd, 2018, Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden 2 released. Have you guys been playing it?
Wait, did you say that the year is 2030?
Yeah, it's 2030. The year. Dude, I finally get it. They want to release it on the year that the game takes place. Duh. The year is 2030. Wait, it is!
Can you make...
I mean, it's probably not even Steve Boyardee. He probably did his stuff. But, like...
I don't know.
They raised a lot of money for it, you know?
I mean, obviously the money cannot support devs that have been working on it for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, for sure.
So nowadays, it's probably just like their free time that they're working on it.
I like...
But there's so much feature creep. They just keep adding stuff.
I wish, I mean...
Can we... Let's just...
I-
Alright, developers... They don't have to pay for it.
I was perfectly fine with how Barkley 1 was, like, really fun, and it wasn't, like, super feature-packed, and it was fine. Like, everyone would have been fine if Barkley 2 was just Barkley 1, but with, like, more stuff, right? Like, no one was like, ugh, we need this to be, like, an action RPG. Like, no, it was just funny. It was, like, a funny, fun game, right? But no. But no! Alright, Ben. Here's your question of the part. Ben's on his phone on his own LP. Rip. Here's the question of the
I
part.
have to check all the updates
Yeah,
for Barkley, too.
he's literally like
What price would you, if it released tomorrow, right? What price would you pay for it? Like, if they were like, it's $60 US, would you buy it at $60 US?
they're not gonna do that.
I would buy it. I would buy it for $100.
I'd probably max out at like 40.
I mean, at this point, it's so feature-packed, it's gotta be like a $40, $50 game, right? Like, they can't spend this much time on it and be like, $20, right? Like, they can't do
I
that.
don't know. A lot of indie games, like devs work on it for a million years, and then it's like releases for $30.
That's true. Was Barkley a free game?
Yes.
I thought it was, right? I mean, I played it for free, but I don't know if I did that legally. It's been a long time. So, how you doing, YouTube land? While Ben figures out what's going on with Barkley 2.
Well, I did figure out this.
Releasing tomorrow? Oh my god.
Alright. Okay, I really... Barkley is like the funniest game I've ever played in my
It's
life.
pretty gosh dang funny.
And I just want Barkley to happen. I want it to happen.
I mean, I understand where they're coming from. Like, people like the first one, and like they're all for like doing a second one. So them being like, we just want to make like as great of a game as possible. But like, it just stinks that all people cared about is like, just keep with your like humor, like just keep with your silliness, and you could come out with like the same graphics. Like, no one cares. Oh, come on.
I care about the graphics.
Well, when you care about the graphics, that's the thing that takes the longest. I'm sure Undertale, does Undertale 2 look similar to Undertale 1? Because the graphics aren't crazy on Undertale.
Yeah, the graphics definitely are like better, but it's still using the same very similar.
Ben, nobody cares. It's just about fun. For someone who plays 20-year-old PC games, you gotta admit, it's the fun.
From what I remember, I haven't seen an update video in like 2 years, but I sort of remember it looking like sort of like Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, it had a very Super Nintendo sprite vibe.
That's really cool, but like, seems like it would take a lot.
I kind of doubt that they're working on the graphics like that.
No, of course not. Well, I mean, of course they're working on it, but like they've got a graphics guy. It's like not the same thing. It's like, oh, it's just see where.
It must be like... I think one of the biggest problems with games nowadays is a lot of these companies don't really know to like, how to like, even bigger companies, how to like allocate their resources properly. Like, look at Telltale Games. Like, I like the Telltale games, right? But they're not really games, right? And like... But have you played them?
No, I've never tried.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of like gameplay to them, right? But like they just went out of business, Telltale Games, because like assuming they like didn't manage their like money or whatever correctly, and it's just like
yeah, there's three big reasons why Telltale went under. They had too many employees that did no work. They kept releasing the same type of game that just wasn't as good as the original ones, and they kept buying licenses for huge things like Batman, and then they release it and then it underperforms and they have to pay that huge licensing fee. Where Walking Dead, I don't know if they had to do anything or if it was like cheaper. I don't know.
well, like their best game, Wolf Among Us, is based off of the comic Fables, which is like I can only assume costs a lot less than Back to the Future and Batman. So like, it was just weird. Like most of the stuff they made was like excellent, but it's like this is a company making the most bare bones games possible. Like they have to be relatively cheap to make, besides the licensing, and they can't make it, right? And that's what you kind of look at like the Barkley team. They're like they had to have a realization probably years ago that they sat down and were like, dude, we stretched ourselves too thin, you know, like. I don't know if these small companies need like a really good like numbers guy to be like, this is what you have to spend on whatever, you know? But it's like, it sucks.
I mean, the main problem with dev teams they kickstarted with money from crowdsourcing is that they don't have like a publisher that like breathes down their neck to be like, hey, can you make this game on this deadline and make sure it's good? You just have a bunch of like game programmers just being like, hey, let's make this dream game, but like they don't know when to stop and they want to prove themselves. And I understand that like notion, but like when you have a game, like I just got a Kickstarter update of a game that I backed on Kickstarter like 6 years ago called Ghost Song.
Called Barkley.
And it only raised like $60,000 or $70,000, but it looked like a really cool Metroidvania. And it's being developed by one guy, and like he just posted an update video being like, yeah, I worked on assets and some controllers and stuff, and it's just like, oh my god, it's gonna be so long.
Crazy. There's like this mission. By the way, this was just like really boring. This was not a great mission.
You know, it's like, it's that eternal battle between, like, you don't want the suits coming in and they're like, bottom line, bottom line, bottom line. But sometimes you, like, almost need that. It's like a yin and a yang, right? Like, you want the artist to do their thing, but at the same time, like, you gotta have the suits that are like, we have to get this out by X. Like, we have to.
Like, obviously, the most evil of that would be like something like Activision EA, where they literally just shut down studios if a game underperforms, and then give them ridiculous budgets or deadlines. But
I'm trying to think of a company that would like have a good mixture between like, all right, we keep the doors open, we make money, but it's not soulless.
Doesn't
Like,
exist.
it's hard.
It used to be Valve.
Yeah,
And now it's not.
but like a lot of these small companies really do need someone to be like, they need the publisher suits to be like, dude, we need this out or we're shutting you down, you know, kind of thing.
I definitely do think that Nintendo probably has that mindset. Although there is a lot of games that they release that are definitely just filler games.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting though, because you can name a lot of times where like Squaresoft in the late 90s, like a lot of their games for PS1, like Brave Fencer Musashi, came out with like clearly too fast, or like Soccer Frontier. Clearly the publisher was like, you gotta get this out, stop messing around, right? And that was kind of a detriment to the game. But at the same time, there are, again, many other cases where you're like, dude, you gotta have a yin and yang here. Because if you have an artist just be an artist, they're just gonna sit there forever being like, I can make this better, I can make this better, I can make this better. So it's very very interesting.
Hey, the story.
Ooh, Stukov.
Is the Duke still bad?
Duke's based.
We're gonna trash his battle cruisers.
How comes you have like generic commander with big mustache?
Look at that dude.
That's the battleship. That's the guy in the battleship, I guess.
Whoa. Is his cruisers those red ones?
I forgot to get.
This is
like,
literally Star Wars right now with these noises.
Yeah, these are all where the hell.
Hey guys, remember Star Wars?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Only one movie a year now, because Disney wants to downsize.
Only one? Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
seriously, only one.
Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. Hey Ben, you won.
That was a slog. I hated that.
Hey, listen, the most important thing is, we'll see you next time. Ben, take us out.
I'm already out.
See ya!